Amid the ongoing Ukraine-Russia war and Zelensky's visit to the United States has led to massive uproar within the Republican Party. The former United States president and current candidate Donald Trump left no stones unturned at a campaign rally in North Carolina. Rebuking Zelensky's U.S. visit, Trump jibed that every time Zelensky made a visit to the U.S., he took away $60 billion, labeling him the greatest salesman on earth. Trump's remarks come after a failed peace deal with Russia and remarked that the war would have never happened had he been at the helm. He also said that any deal with the Kremlin would have been a better option than what Ukraine is facing, which has turned the nation into a pile of rubble. Trump's remark comes in the backdrop of Zelensky's pitch to the White House over his alleged victory plan. Trump also pinned blame on Biden and Democrat presidential candidate Kamala Harris for hatching the crisis and pledging their support to defend Ukraine from Russian attacks.
Take a look at the war happening right now in Ukraine. It would have never happened if I were president, to start off with. But what do you have left now? Right? 3 years of horrible fighting. The country is absolutely obliterated. A deal could have been made if we had a competent president instead of a president that egged it all on. And Biden and Kamala allowed this to happen by feeding Zelensky money and munitions like no country has ever seen before. Every time he came to our country, he'd walk away with $60 billion. He's probably the greatest salesman on earth.
Trump has been saying this for a long time. He, as you heard, said that the war would never have happened if he were president. And he called Zelensky the greatest salesman, the man who takes away $60 billion every time he comes to Washington, D.C. So what he's doing is trying to blame the war and the cost of the war that America is partly burdened with on Biden, on Harris. That's really his way of telling the people of America that, look, you will not have to pay for this war if I were president. That's actually the bottom line. Because when he says he's the greatest salesman on earth who walks away with $60 billion, he is reaching out to the people, to the taxpayers of America, who he says will complain that their money is going to fight a war that is not necessary. But this is something that will worry many Americans in the security business, and many European countries which are part of the NATO alliance. All the other 25, 26 countries that are part of the NATO alliance will worry, because if America stops funding this war, if America stops supporting the war, which could happen if Trump becomes president, then the entire situation in Europe will be different, and there will be no way that the Ukrainians would be able to fight successfully.